As a wedding photographer for the past 10 years, I've seen so many brides ran late on their wedding day. And I'm not talking about 5 minutes late. I'm talking about an hour to 2 hours late on their wedding day. And you know what happens every time? Everybody in the room panics. The bride, the bridesmaid, the mom, the whole entire room just goes crazy. And that throws the rest of the wedding day off because everything seems rushed. So today I'm going to break down the 5 photo timeline mistakes I see brides make. And I'm also going to show you a simple wedding photo timeline that can save the day to protect your wedding photos. The first mistake I see brides make is they let the photographer arrive whatever time they want to arrive. There's no plan. The photographer should arrive an hour and a half before the bride gets her makeup done. Like, this is the game changer, because if the photographer arrives while you're in the chair, he or she doesn't have enough time to capture the detail shots, the rings, the garter, the invitation, all the small details. He or she doesn't have time to capture that, along with the getting ready shots when you get into your dress. You see what I'm saying? But if they arrive an hour and a half before that, they're able to capture those moments with a little buffer time. Of course, it's not going to take them an hour and a half to capture those photos or the details, but it gives them that buffer time, because on a wedding day, things happen. Like, sometimes the dresses need to be sewed up, stitched up. Like, it's certain things that happen on the wedding morning. Like, it goes crazy. So you want to have some buffer time and also have the photographer arrive a little ahead of time so that you can make sure that those preparation photos are captured. Second mistake is capturing the bride first. Like, the photographer should capture the groom first. The groom should be captured the hour and a half before. Like, the hour, it should take the photographer an hour tops to capture the groom and getting ready shots. So during that time frame, the photographer can capture the groom getting ready, the groom detail shots, because the groom doesn't take as much time as the bride. You see what I'm saying? The groom does not need that much time. So the photographer could be there capturing the groom shots first, and then, like, the bride, if anything happens with the bride, like, the photographer is there and don't have to report to the groom. You see what I'm saying? Once he done got the groom out the way, then the bride needs all the extra time, because things happen. Like, guys, we can, like, wing it, but girls, like, it's certain things that y'all do differently and y'all require more time. So if photographers are capturing the groom first, like, it gives them more time to capture the bride, because the bride has more details. The bride, this is your day. You see what I'm saying? So that's how you want to capture that moment. You want to go ahead and get the groom out the way and then let the bride be the last thing before heading to the wedding ceremony. This third one, this can throw your whole entire wedding day off. It's the family photos and the bridal party photos and some alone time photos with your new husband after the wedding ceremony. Now, the photographer and the wedding planner sometimes are not on the same page during this time. So you want to make sure before your wedding day, talk to the photographer first to make sure that he or she gives you the right amount of time they need to take photos after the wedding ceremony, because the wedding planner is going to give you a generic time. So it may take the photographer more time if you have a lot of people in your wedding party. And if they're not on the same page, the photographer and the planner could rush that process. And you could have a lot of missed photos as far as family members, people in your wedding party. It just gets crazy during that time frame. So me personally, I've talk to the bride and groom first, like a week or two before we have our last call before the wedding, and ask them for a list of the family members they want to take photos with after the wedding ceremony. This is going to save a lot of time as far as that time, because if you don't have a list to go by, certain people could get missed. And then if you have the list ahead of time, the photographer, send the list to the photographer ahead of time, he or she could be able to take the photos and check it off the list. That way nobody gets missed. Now, when I start doing this, like, this was a game changer for me, because the wedding part, a photographer already knows what type of photos to take. But the family members, the photographer doesn't know who are your important family members that you want to take photos with during that time frame. And I also suggest that you not make that list too long, but as far as your close family members, and then the people that are family and friends, you could take photos with them, while you're walking around during the wedding receptions. Because like you don't really want to have a big long window of taking photos, because it's going to take up majority of your wedding day. So make sure that list is, a nice size list, not too big, you know what I'm saying? Just find that sweet spot, and then send those people that you want to take photos with a week before the wedding to the photographer. That way the photographer has that list and nobody gets missed. The fourth mistake brides make is taking too many photos in different locations on their wedding day. Like, you want to minimize like the walking and the traveling. You want to be able to take photos within walking distance. You see what I'm saying? So you won't be taking all that time trying to get to a location to take photos because you want to take photos. You have to be aware of time on your wedding day. The only thing that's going to throw you off as far as photos and anything else that you do on your wedding day is time. Time is going to be your most important thing. So you want to make sure that you're capturing those photos in a decent amount of time. If you want to take certain photos in a certain location, it's going to be hard if it's not right there. It's going to be throwing your whole entire day off, because like, don't let you get stuck in traffic or something. You see what I'm saying? Now it's like, oh, everybody got to wait on you. So you want to make sure if you can take the photos right there on the location as far as the venue and everything, then take the photos there. That way you're not wasting too much time running all over the place and then trying to get back to your wedding. And if something happens on your wedding day, the last mistake is during the reception time. Like, if you don't have a professional wedding planner or coordinator for your wedding day, and they don't have a actual time when they're going to do certain events on your wedding day, it's going to be crazy. So what I've seen, the best way that you could do photos during the wedding reception is to, like, after the entrance, right? Let you and the groom do your first dance right after the entrance, right after. And then after that, do the father-daughter dance and mother-son dance. Do that right after that. And then let your guests eat. And then after the guests done got the last table, then you want to go ahead and knock out like the cake cutting, the garter removal, and the toast. You want to do them back to back, because after that, now all your photos are captured. Unless you want to take like sunset photos or something like that. But at that time, everything is captured. You don't have to be worrying about running behind people and just having a bunch of stuff going on. You want to have order during your wedding reception time, because you also want to enjoy the DJ. You see what I'm saying? You don't want to spend all your time taking photos all night. So also, if you want to start walking around to each table after those things and take photos with the people at the table, you and the groom just walk up to each table and take a photo. That would also cut down the time as far as people wanting to take photos with you while you're dancing, because people are going to stop you to take photos during that time as well. So that's the biggest thing as far as like making sure that your photos are captured so you can enjoy the rest of your night. Because if you don't get those photos out the way, your photographer is going to be on you, because the photographer knows that after your wedding day, you're going to be questioning about certain photos, but you're in the moment, so you won't remember. And then your guests are going to stop you all night to take photos. So you want to make sure that you're ahead of the game when you're planning your wedding day, because if you don't, you're going to be taking photos all night long. And sometimes you might not be able to capture certain photos, because these 5 mistakes that you made is going to ruin your wedding photos, and you won't have all your photos on your wedding day. And also, if you needed a timeline that goes hour by hour to make sure no important photos are missed on your wedding day, the link is in the description.